Time for some 5-minute feedback on goodstuff.fm. Chris Enns runs this site, and it's a network of podcasts. And I believe there are 9 of them. They're not all shown here on the homepage, but he is just asking, hey, how can I make this better? How can I take on, these bigger podcast networks? And this is what I'm working with. So I'm just going to go through the site, look at a couple pages, throw out some ideas, and hopefully something will be helpful. So I haven't been here before. I didn't know this was a thing. There's a lot of things on the internet. I don't see them all. And my first thought when I come here is I don't know what these shows are about, and I don't get that information right away by looking at the recent episode list. So the whole homepage is, it pulls out some of them, and then it's listing some of the most recent episodes, but Clockworks, where they wrap up season 3, it's not going to tell me what it's about. I have no idea what I'm doing. Released our 2019 special in 2020. I don't know what that one's about. Is this a programmer's thing? Is this crime? Is it, I don't really know what it's about. So if they all have an overarching thread, I would, add some text somewhere like our shows are, if we went to the about section, podcasts that are entertaining, informative, and fun. And if there's anything else, like we're all programmers, or we all work from home, or I don't know, if there's some other common thread, I would put this in like the top half of the homepage. Just kind of what I'm thinking. And also, I would probably flip the focus of the homepage here. So instead of it being about all the recent episodes and then here's our shows, I would maybe put like the recent episodes here, and then like highlight each of the shows and what they're about instead. Like use all this to kind of list out your shows and have the blurb about what they're about. So I don't have to either like go to each one or go to here, like an extra click. And I think like even if this was, the bottom half of the homepage, that would probably be cool. Also, while we're here, this is a lot of color. I would probably try and put all these in like a one color, like all gray, or like a black bar, and then just use like their icons and stuff next to them instead of, like the Skittles that it kind of looks like, just like a lot of colors. It reminds me of, like the Bootstrap days where you had all the different color, like primary, secondary, tertiary buttons, and just, I don't know, kind of looks a little bit template-y to me. All right, let's go back to the homepage. Another thing just in general, since we're kind of starting from the top, is I think this site would benefit from some kind of like funky, memorable brand element. I love just throwing like a big giant object or like objects in the design somewhere, at least as a place to start, and it can refine or evolve over time. So since this is good stuff, I was thinking maybe you could have just like in the margins or in the bottom, somewhere like sticking out of the footer, out of the side or whatever, is just have like some good stuff, which is really generic, right? But it could be like some handwritten text and an arrow that says like, this is good stuff, and it's like a fish. And then maybe on another page, or like you scroll some more and it's like, this is not good stuff, and it's like a fish skeleton, just something goofy or interesting. It doesn't have to be funny or like non-serious, but I think just some sort of it's the thing with like the the fish skeleton on it. Like I'd remember that. This is just square images in a black header is kind of forgettable. Not that it looks bad in any way. There's no like problems necessarily with the site. I just think it could stand out more. Also, while we're here, the 3G3Q title, cover images, I don't know. It's the one that's the weakest to me. What if you just had like the 3 heads and like 3 question marks over them from like the 3 guys, right? This is 3 guys, 3 questions. I think if you had Aaron, Andrew, and Adam's heads and they all had like question marks over them or something, that would stand out a little bit more to me. But this gradient of like white going to like a blue on top of orange just almost kind of hurts my eyes. Sorry. Hopefully that doesn't bother you. Okay, next. The About page. You definitely could spice this up. Also, I noticed like throughout the site, all the text is like full width. It's kind of long. I would either like squish that column so it's smaller and you'd have like 60 to 70 characters before the text wraps, or just make it like half width and like throw some photos on here, like put Chris and Kyle's headshots and just kind of like play with them back and forth, just kind of spice it up and like put the human element into it. Like advertise section, you come down here, like here's your stats, boom. I'd make these huge, like 9 podcasts, boom, font size like 160, 16,000 subscribers, boom, like take up the whole width, right? Just kind of spice that up and then break these sections out a little bit more. So you'd have, this would maybe be in a box and that'd be next to this thing, and just try and like break it up. It's just like H2 bullet list, H2 bullet list, H2 bullet list, and it doesn't really like have any separation, which is also kind of the case on, let's see, which was it? Yeah, the support page. Also full width, you have like a lot of content, but it doesn't really, when I scan it, it doesn't really jump out besides like, oh, there's some links down here because they're a different color. So, I'd make your H1 bigger, like a lot bigger, probably make this like a big boom, like full width call out or something, and then kind of break down to the smaller stuff. Newsletter call out. These are always, do you have it in the footer? Okay, no, I'd put this in the footer. Boom, full width. Also say, let's see, when we notify when we launch Good Stuff Network Patreon campaign. I kind of have a feeling you probably already have that going. Maybe you need to update that text. Sign up to the Good Stuff newsletter and we'll let you know. So maybe you don't need this anymore. Or if you do send out emails, like just describe what it is you do. Put it in a big like box on a black background with white text, or just make it stand out separate from the rest of the content. And then maybe logos would spice this up, or just shrink it. Maybe put them in some cards or something. But it's not bad. I'll see if I have a broken markdown link here. So sorry about that. Sorry. Let's see. What else we got? The live section. What are we looking at here? Well, this is cool. I like this. And it's a little bit empty, but I think it's cool. Google Calendar is, I don't know. It kind of feels like 2008 days, but like not in a good way. I don't know if you have a schedule, maybe you could pull in the list and be like, hey, at the top, our next live episode is going to be next Thursday at 2. And then, remind me or something. I mean, I don't know how much time you want to put into this, but if you had a little remind me when it goes live and you could actually subscribe to get like an email notification, that'd be pretty cool. What else have we got here? How do I listen? Sure. Again, just like shrink the width of this in the actual show list. Yeah, we've looked at all those things. So yeah, there you go. Those are, it's about 5 or so minutes. I don't know. I didn't look at the clock, but hopefully that helps you. Take care.